Well, Chelsea host Burnley at home at Stamford Bridge in once again a must-win game for Chelsea. I say this before every watch-along because at this point of the season that we're in, every game is must-win for Chelsea. That's as simple as that, as what happened against Leeds last week cannot happen again. We were 2-0 up at home against a side in the relegation zone, but we ended up picking up only a point, which was Liam Rosenior's only blemish in what has been a flawless start in the Premier League for the young British coach. 4 wins out of 5 for Liam Rosenior. It should have been 5 wins out of 5 heading into this contest. But former Chelsea player now Scotty Parker, with his side in 19th, about 9 points away from Nottingham Forest, will feel that this is an uphill battle, and a point here at Stamford Bridge at the bare minimum would do them a lot of good trying to head into that difficult final 10 games where they try and stay in the Premier League. Well, from Chelsea's point of view, it's as simple as that. Against Leeds, we played some of the best football that we have in that opening 45 minutes. We need more of that. We've got all our heavy hitters on the pitch today, as I'll take you to the team news once the game goes on. But it's Cole Palmer, who's back fit and offering ready, gets things off and running. Well, Chelsea start off this match week in 5th. Aston Villa kick off at the same time as they host Leeds at home. So I'll be keeping a close eye on that as Chelsea look to close the gap on Aston Villa in 3rd as well. Yes, Manchester United in 4th is our immediate concern as we need to pick up points as United are just 1 point ahead of us. But Liverpool are 2 behind us as they go away to Nottingham Forest, who are without a permanent manager. So it's going to be difficult settings for Chelsea, and that's why this game is must win. Chelsea just need to handle business on its own here ahead of us, but we cannot rely on other teams and their results. We got a bit fortunate considering that Manchester United dropped points against West Ham, which means that our draw against Leeds didn't be as punitive as it really could have been. Chelsea's back for today with no Marc Cucurella for the foreseeable future, at least for a month or so, with Marc Cucurella suffering an injury, which means Malo Gusto starts at left back today, with Reece as the right back, and our 2 centre-halves being Trevor Chalobah and Wesley Fofana, Andrés Santos and Moises Caicedo as our 2 pivot players, with Enzo Fernandez, Cole Palmer and Pedro Neto all looking to supply our top scorer in the Premier League, João Pedro. 10 goals and 4 assists for the Brazilian. He has been a roaring success since joining from Brighton. £50 million, and every bit of that worth it. But Pedro Neto down the left-hand side is a position that I prefer Pedro Neto to be in rather than on the right, with Cole on the right. I was surprised that maybe, just maybe, Reece James might have been preferred on the left-hand side so that he could get the overlap of Malo Gusto down the right. But it seems that Malo and Pedro Neto will man that left-hand side for us. Trevor Chalobah goes for the switch to Enzo Fernandez. His position has been interchangeable to say the very least. 8 goals in the Premier League for Enzo this season. It's been his best return by far. We saw him on that left-hand side half space against Wolves. Interesting position alongside Marc Cucurella, but with no Cucurella, means that Enzo goes back in the 10 with Cole Palmer on the right. Well, Palmer, when Chelsea have possession, pretty much can drift wherever he chooses to, and his link-up with João Pedro is fantastic. We saw that at the Club World Cup. Immediate signs were there with Palmer's injury, and you could see that João Pedro, needing that bit of creative spark, really did struggle in the absence. But that's good play there from the 2 Brazilians. Andrés Santos finds Pedro Neto. Neto on the outside, looks to put the ball into the box. Cole Palmer was waiting for it, but Worrell just smashes that forward. Oh, Trevor Chalobah, that's not the most convincing bit of defending. With Zian Fleming, the last man, making that run as Burnley looking to just play the long ball forward. Chelsea will often be left 2v1 there with Fofana and Trevor Chalobah as the 2. Oh, what a pass that is by Caicedo. It's Neto on the left-hand side. Cut back chance. João Pedro! That's surely gone across the line, and it's 1-0 to Chelsea. It's João Pedro again. It's brilliant from the Blues. Caicedo starts the move off in tremendous fashion. And then it's Pedro Neto who flashes that across the face of goal for João Pedro to score again. This man cannot stop scoring, and long may that continue. Brilliant. A high quality goal opens up the Burnley defense. Back to front, couple of passes. Look at this Moises Caicedo punch pass, man. It is special. Andre Santos starts off the move here. Caicedo's pass to Pedro Neto's weighted to perfection. Neto is clearly onside. Picks his head up. João Pedro makes the run. It's a perfect run by the Brazilian. It's the scruffy finish, but he does just enough to get that over the line, and Chelsea had the lead. No, it's just brilliant from João Pedro, man. Typical centre forward poaching there. Might have just slightly overhit that maybe. Ooh, does it come off the arm of João Pedro? I don't think it has. Comes off both knees by the looks of it. It'll be a tough goal to disallow. Yep, I think it's both knees. Should be clear. Dubravka trying his very best to keep that out, but no chance there. 11 Premier League goals. They're checking for possible handball here. It's double knees. I'm sure it's double knees. I saw it a couple of times and the goal will stand. João Pedro once again. Well, I saw somewhere that player of the season for Chelsea this season, and they're two standout characters and they belong in both boxes for us. It's either Rob Sanchez or that man João Pedro right there. Changed our lives. I was not the happiest when Nico Jackson went, but when I saw the introduction of João Pedro in the Club World Cup, you just felt that there's a special player in there, man. And it really has paid dividends. He is one of the most informed strikers in the Premier League and possibly in Europe as well. Carlo Ancelotti will be looking at this and he's going to be looking to pick his centre forward for Brazil. And João Pedro certainly has to be on top of that list. João Pedro and Esteban, we fully expect those two to be on the flight to US. Esteban Willian, though, got news that maybe, just maybe, he might be suffering from a hamstring injury. I don't have the confirmation on it. Chelsea have been trying to manage his minutes very carefully. Even Enzo Maresca started taking him out of the team, not giving him 90 minutes. Very seldom completes 90 minutes. But just shows you that Chelsea needed to be patient with the young Brazilian. And really hope that he doesn't miss too much time, because Jamie Gittins is out with a bad hamstring injury as well. So our options at the wing is threadbare at the moment. Lovely play there by Reece. Hannibal, ex-Manchester United player on the left-hand side, scored a cracking goal against Crystal Palace. They were 2-0 down Burnley. Hannibal, they back off him and it's a shot on target. Comfortable for Rob Sanchez. Still on 9 clean sheets, I believe. Would have been absolutely fuming in the manner of which we have thrown away some of our clean sheets against Crystal Palace, Wolves, and even Leeds United to some extent. They were two of the most needless goals. Oh, it's a back pass as Rob Sanchez collected it. What's happening here? Oh, it's just a corner. Ooh. I'm surprised it's a corner. I mean, I'm failing to see what happened here, because a long hit there from Majebury straight at Sanchez, and suddenly Chelsea, after getting the early lead, have a corner to defend here. Ball whipped into the box. Decent delivery at the far stick as Leslie Ugo-Chukwu's just over. The former Chelsea player steals at the far stick. Nobody marking the young Frenchman. Great strike after bringing that down. Not good defending this from Chelsea. Lovely chest control there from Leslie Ugo-Chukwu. Brings that down nicely, the number 8. Just slices across it. Early warning shot there. Burnley have had a couple of attempts, but it's Chelsea with the early goal. Again, nothing foolish. Until this game is dead and buried, I will not be relaxing. I was too comfortable when Chelsea were 2-0 up against Leeds United. Oh, what are you doing there, Andre Santos? Nearly puts Chelsea into so much trouble. Chelsea with a bit of bozo gene going on here. Even Wesley Fofana, even Moises Caicedo slightly, just slightly guilty of it. Out of absolutely nothing. Okay, Andre Santos does a lot of good things for Chelsea, but he cannot be playing passes like that. Blind and across the face. Cannot be doing that. Chelsea have had no problem scoring goals, man. Even under Liam Rossinier, scored 2-3 goals in the Prem. I think even goal difference wise, we should be okay come the end of the season. But as it stands, Chelsea in 4th, 4 points behind Aston Villa. And that's the gap that we really need to close down by the end of the season. We cannot be battling with Manchester United and Liverpool. We need to try and knock on Aston Villa's door. Here's Trevor Chalobah. Finds Andre Santos. Liga Young Player of the Year when Liam Rosenior was the manager at Strasbourg. And that's why you see the trust immediately in Andre Santos. Enzo Fernandez is playing quite a lot on the right-hand side alongside Reece James. Surprised that maybe Cole Palmer is now the number 10 with Enzo on the right. Chelsea showcasing their fluidity. Here's Malo Gusto, finds Pedro Neto, who had the assist for the Joao Pedro goal. Here's Cole Palmer now. He's in the natural number 10 position. Clever pass. Joao Pedro flicks it on. It's Enzo Fernandez. Enzo Fernandez on his left foot, looking to curl that in. Beautiful football from Chelsea in the central areas once again. And you can see that Liam Rosenior loves central progression. And we're seeing that so much more. That is so clever from Joao Pedro. I think he wanted to find Pedro Neto for the first time effort. Ends up finding Enzo Fernandez. Could have gone for the pass. Just shifted it on his left foot to try and get the shot away as Enzo searches for his 9th Premier League goal. Cole Palmer and Enzo Fernandez are 2-10s at 8 Premier League goals apiece. Cole Palmer has missed nearly the entirety of the season, man, and he's got 8 Premier League goals. He's an absolute freak when it comes to that aspect. Well, Chelsea have new front of the shirt sponsors. We're nearly in March. IFS.ai. I don't know too much about the company, haven't done any research whatsoever. Had a couple of AI companies with Bing X as well. Damark towards the end of the season. Chelsea have yet to really lock in that FOS. Just over 10 minutes on the clock. Chelsea have the perfect start here. Critical that we get the second goal as quickly as possible. Caicedo finds Trevor Chalobah. Here's Rob Sanchez to Wesley Fofana. Well, Chelsea recruited Mamadou Sarr in the summer. Of course, he was at Strasbourg. Chelsea deciding to buy him for the parent club. Send him back on loan to Strasbourg, which he was till about January. And then, of course, he won the African Nations Cup alongside Senegal, where he was one of the cornerstones on defence. And now being brought back from loan to just shore up the defence for Chelsea down that left-hand side. Benoit Badiashile did start off with Liam Rosenior, but he's fallen off the pecking order, which means that it's Trevor Chalobah as that left-sided centre-back and Wesley Fofana on the right. On the right-hand side, of course, Tosin, Wesley Fofana, Josh Achimpong, all options for Liam Rosenior. I think Josh Achimpong has to be above Tosin in the pecking order, that's for sure. Here's Enzo Fernandez. Andre Santos, Gusto in the central position. Cole Palmer breaks the challenge. Can he get the through pass here? It's Cole Palmer on the left-hand side. Cole Palmer, what a block! It's Kyle Walker showing his recovery pace there, the Burnley skipper. Again, Andre Santos gets his pass with a bit of luck rather than judgment. It's Malo Gusto who's finding himself in midfield. Finds Cole Palmer. The challenge doesn't arrive. They all back off. And it's Kyle Walker on the stretch. I think Palmer's shot was straight at Dubravka. 12 minutes on the clock. Chelsea knocking on the door again here. Reece James back in the starting 11. He's managed his fitness very well throughout the campaign here. Does pick up knocks, but that's totally normal as Reece delivers. Good ball in, headed away. Throw in for Chelsea. That second goal could not come earlier, man. We need to really put a statement. It has to be Burnley. I'm sorry that it's got to be Burnley, but we really need to put them to sword here. 19th place with 18 points. That win against Crystal Palace would have given them a lot of confidence. They were 2-0 down, and within the 45-minute mark, they were 3-2 up. Some cracking goals. Hannibal scored a brilliant one. Here's Pedro Neto. Again, we're seeing the fluidity of the Chelsea front three attackers. It's Neto down the right-hand side now. Chelsea trying to be as confusing as possible to the Burnley backline. Jadon Anthony and Marcus Edwards, the two wingers for Burnley. They have a lot of directness and pace. They have been Scotty Parker's first choice wingers. With Jan Fleming, the centre forward. He's got 5 Premier League goals, the Dutchman. Decent return. Here's Hannibal Magebury. Looks for the big switch out there. What a pass that is. Cushion header for Marcus Edwards. Gusto does well and he gets fouled. There is an ex-Chelsea connection in the Burnley side as well. Not just Leslie Ugochukwu, but Bashir Humphreys as well. I think in the starting 11, it showed him as the left-sided wing-back. He's nearly 6'2". Looked like a very decent centre-half prospect for us. Saw him in the Carabao Cup maybe a couple of seasons back. Then went on loan to Swansea, if I'm not mistaken. Now finding his home here in Burnley. Here's Enzo Fernandez up against Hannibal. Enzo put under pressure down the left-hand side. Jadon Anthony immediately closing down the Argentine. I still think about that Leeds result, man. I mean, we should have won that match. I mean, how we're in this position, even at the end, even after throwing a 2-goal advantage, right at the end, Cole Palmer missed an absolute sitter. It's a goal that'll keep him up at night. He's the kind of player who likes to forget things, put things in the rearview mirror. Ugo Chukwu breezes past Enzo Fernandez with ease. Here's Bashir Humphries, and he's been cut out there by Wesley Fofana. Brilliant play there from the Frenchman. Hannibal immediately closing him down. For Liam Rosenior, 4 wins out of 5. Brentford, Crystal Palace, Wolves, all we expected them to win the games. We haven't really been tested in the league, but we've got Arsenal next week at the Emirates Stadium. We did lose to them in that Carabao Cup second leg game at the Emirates Stadium. Chelsea were 3-2 down in the first leg, and Kai Havertz just adding the salt in the wounds in the final minute to book Arsenal's spot in that Carabao Cup final against Manchester City. And that final now has real weight on it. It's a trophy that's low on the priority list, but considering both of them are fighting for the title, it's got so much weight attached to it. City play Newcastle United. They travel to St James's Park later on. And if City win that, the gap gets even finer. Spurs hosting Arsenal tomorrow. We'll be doing the watch along for that. Really looking forward to that game. Gusto tries to put the ball into the box. Chelsea looking to pepper the Burnley goal. Reece James goes on the outside of Humphries. Decent ball in. It's cleared away. Anywhere will do kind of settings there. Esteve gets the ball away. It's a corner for Chelsea. Reece James just skips past Bashir Humphries. Lovely footwork, creates enough of a separation. Tries to just whip that right foot around the ball. Decent defending there by Esteve. Esteve, Vorol and Lauren, the 3 centre-halves for Burnley, playing that back 3 with Kyle Walker, the skipper, as the right wing-back, Bashir Humphries on the left. And of course, Ugo Chukwu and Hannibal as the 2 pivot players. Here's Pedro Neto. Decent ball in, it's punched away. Moises Caicedo has got 3 Premier League goals. A lovely pass there to Pedro Neto. Here's Neto now, slows it down. Palmer on his left foot. Cole Palmer with the strike. I think it's Esteve again. Brave defending there from the centre half. Concedes yet another corner. Again, not a shot that was going to really trouble Dubravka. Cole Palmer urged to shoot. Nobody really closing him down. Hannibal far too late on it. Another corner for Chelsea. I think this is the 3rd already. Reece James has had 1. Neto has had a couple. Number 7 whips this ball in. Good first header. Again, Chelsea have really pinned Burnley in their own box here. Fantastic after getting that early goal. Cole Palmer finds Enzo Fernandez. Here's Moises Caicedo. Again, Moy, the 3 midfielders, Andre Santos, Enzo Fernandez and Moises Caicedo all just spamming short passes, trying to move the Burnley players. See that central progression. I keep talking about it because it is so prevalent. We know that Enzo Maresca loved using the width on the pitch, but it's the central areas that we create so many problems. Here's Chalobah. Chelsea progressed the ball lovely. Here's Gusto. Andre Santos. Here's Moy. And everybody involved. It is so packed in the central areas, man. Here's Enzo Fernandez. It's a loose pass. Enzo needs to take better care of the ball. Not the best start for Enzo Fernandez, despite Chelsea having a good start. Moises Caicedo wins another header. So does Ugo Chukwu. So does Andre Santos. Decent period this for Burnley, just looking to keep a bit of possession, trying to relieve some of the pressure as Chelsea have been relentless in the opening stages here. Here's Esteve. Left-footed ball forward. Andre Santos mops up. So does Wesley Fofana. Malo Gusto does well to get away from Lauren. Chelsea mop up nicely. Oh, Rob Sanchez inviting pressure. Wesley Fofana caught in the corner. Oh, somehow managing to find the pass, but Burnley keep the pressure on. Here's Humphreys. Hannibal surveying his options. Caicedo does very well to mop up the danger. And now Chelsea on the counter-attack here. 19 minutes on the clock. It's Pedro Neto down the left-hand side. Burnley players get back into position quickly here. Neto. Couple of fakes. Pretty poor there from Neto in terms of progression, but gets Chelsea up the pitch. Here's Enzo Fernandez. Chelsea looking to break the deep block now. Enzo. Andre Santos. And Chelsea utterly dominant in terms of possession and territory. Fully expected it, but we know that this game is not going to end in that manner. Burnley will have a spell in the match where they put Chelsea under pressure. Clean sheet is absolutely paramount, man. Cannot allow Burnley to be scoring goals. Here's Caicedo. Chelsea just keeping possession. Not really looking to move things around. Here's Caicedo. Palmer. Andre Santos. Lovely movement again from Chelsea. Here's Enzo Fernandez. He's picked his head up. Seen the runs being made. Enzo decides to find Reece on the right-hand side. Skipper and vice captain looking to combine. Caicedo. Palmer. Caicedo again. He's the one who flashed it across the face of goal right at the end against Leeds for Cole Palmer. Trevor Chalobah fizzes the pass onto the right-hand side. Chelsea looking to up the tempo now. Here's Enzo Fernandez. Cole Palmer. The creative players really combining. Cole looking to nutmeg the player. Brilliant from Trevor Chalobah. Chelsea relentless in the Burnley half. They aren't able to get out here. There's no out ball for Burnley. Over 20 minutes played. It's been all Chelsea. Burnley have had a couple of attempts. Ugo Chukwu had one from the corner. Here's Andre Santos. Malo Gusto. Gusto has got 2 Premier League goals. Oh, surely a foul, ref. No. Now he gives the foul against Joao Pedro. Well, Joao was convinced that he was held there by Joe Worrell. 11 Premier League goals, man. Brilliant. I mean, can he reach 20 Premier League goals? It's not an expectation I had of Joao Pedro before the season started. But once the Club World Cup happened, I thought if this guy could get 15 Premier League goals, with Cole Palmer being someone who can really get in, like output out of him. Enzo Fernandez contributing as well. You know, the wingers have been the real letdown for us. Especially Garnacho and Gittins, man. 90 million quid. Garnacho can't find a starting position. He doesn't deserve one, make no mistake about it, but considering he's had 40 million to spend and decided to spend that on Alejandro Garnacho, he scored a few decent goals in our cup runs, but in the Premier League he's been very poor, man. Not been happy with him. He's a good second half option, especially if Chelsea are looking to kill teams on the transition, but when facing deep blocks we could do so much better. And that's why I'm really hoping Jamie Gittins for Chelsea comes good, because he's got all those 1v1 attributes, but his confidence levels so low that you almost need something. Like, you never want players to get injured, right? But especially hamstring injuries for explosive wingers. But I really hope he uses this time on the sidelines. There's something to work on his mental aspect as well, because there is a player in there. I've seen it with Gittins, man. If he can be full throttle. Yes, the Bundesliga is not the most accurate measuring stick for someone to adapt in the Premier League, but for 1v1 abilities and his ability to get out of tight spaces can be such a useful weapon for us. This season, yep, poor, but next season we really need our wingers to step up. Of course, we've got Kenda coming in from Sporting Lisbon. Whether or not he'll be immediately integrated, we'll wait and see. Wing options are really open for Chelsea. Central options, difficult, especially with Enzo, Caicedo, now Andre Santos, who's got the full trust of the manager. Of course, Romeo Lavia now returning, as he played an under-21 game for Chelsea. Of course, we've got Dario Esugo suffering with that long-term injury. He's missed pretty much the entirety of the season. Oh, Sanchez has left that short. Chelsea are playing some very poor football here. Yes, we're keeping the ball, but we're just inviting unnecessary pressure here. Hugo Chukwu finds Kyle Walker. Back to the Frenchman here. In Chelsea, a lot of conservative passes in that move. Just unnecessary. Here's Walker. Finds Joe Worrell. Esteve, who's been busy. Needed a couple of blocks from him. Here's Hannibal. Carrington product. Clever pass there to Fleming. Surely Anthony is offside. Jaden Anthony just wanting the ball to be played first time, but the ball was played first time. But he's just too eager to make that run. Lovely pass this from Hannibal Maidry. Yep, clearly offside. Trevor Chalobah doing well to step up. Well, since scoring, you haven't really troubled Martin Dubravka in goal. It's an area of the pitch that Chelsea need to get a lot more ruthless. I think a lot of Premier League clubs will feel that it's that element that's missing from their club. Just get a bit more ruthless and a lot of problems would be solved. I mean, I know that the Arsenal fans and supporters are wishing their team was ruthless. They were 2-0 up against Wolverhampton Wanderers. I mean, I was thinking about doing a stream for that game, but I just looked at it, I'm like, surely they're going to beat Wolves, man. Wolves have got 9 points all season. They're competitive under Rob Edwards, but surely you expect the team at top of the table with Manchester City breathing down their necks to just blow them out of the water. And to their credit, they were 2-0 up. Saka and Hincapié both scored. But the first goal for Wolves was an absolute special. Was that Bueno? I think it was the left-footed curler, and then the debutant scoring at the very last kick of the game. Again, needless panic. Arsenal just invited pressure and they paid the price. I want to say Chelsea did the same against Leeds, but it was just unnecessary individual mistakes more than anything else that made it just throw the 2-0 advantage, man. It was Caicedo with a needless challenge in the box, and then of course Josh Achumpong and Rob Sanchez getting into a real mix-up there. Failure to clear the lines meant that Okafor had that easy task of tapping into an empty net. Daniel Farke's men has taken 4 points of Chelsea, man. They won at Ellen Road and a point at the Bridge. Unacceptable. 1 point from 6 from Leeds. Poor. That's why beating Burnley, absolutely critical. Beat them at Turf Moor, no problem. Get the job done at Stamford Bridge here. Burnley, who's pressing from the front for the first time. You can see the front three here for them just outside the Chelsea box, which means that if Chelsea play through them, could be business for us. Rob Sanchez again takes no challenges. Brilliant from Reece James to win the header, and Joao Pedro, magnificent. Oh, tremendous to see. And then Cole Palmer pulls out of the header. But Reece James was never pulling out of that one. Terrific leap there from Reece. He's such a unit, man. Physical specimen, total footballer, put him anywhere on the pitch. I mean, you talk about putting players on anywhere on the pitch, right? A lot of fans used to debate that Trent Alexander-Arnold in midfield could change the game, but Reece James in midfield really did change the game. What a ball that is from Reece. Oh, he's displaying every facet. It's Pedro Neto down the left-hand side. Any contact, and it's 2-0 for Chelsea. Reece James. Bashir Humphries is nowhere close to him. Reece can take a touch. What a delivery that is, man. Oh, it's a peach. Neto looking to attack the fast stick. Just mistimes his jump. We talked about Reece James in midfield, right? So the 2 games that he really did excel, big games, was against Rodri, Manchester City, 1-1 at the Etihad Stadium, where Enzo Fernandez equalized at the very last minute. And then, of course, against Declan Rice and co, when Chelsea were down to 10 men after Moises Caicedo got sent off. Reece James bossed that midfield, man, against Rice, Zubimendi, and what is that, Odegaard? Special. Chelsea need to just step it up here towards the last 15 minutes of the first half. Make sure that that second goal arrives immediately. 2-0 at halftime would be a fair result, but a necessary one as well. Ah, Chalobah, that is so needless. It's such a clumsy foul, man. It's a free kick for Burnley. Ah, so poor. Out of absolutely nothing, Burnley have an opportunity to load the box here. Will be Jaden Anthony, who's sent Kyle Walker away. Number 11 wants this free kick to himself. Again, Chelsea's fast stick defending. This is my worry here. Andre Santos and versus Leslie Ugochukwu. There is a considerable size disadvantage there. Chelsea need to make sure here. Even Esteves pulling out towards the far stick here. It's brilliant there from Rob Sanchez. Takes so much of the pressure off. Andre Santos lands awkwardly, but he's okay to continue. Did have a sore ankle a couple of weeks back, but Liam Rosenior described him as an absolute animal. Again, Chelsea left 2v1 there. Andre Santos, and it was pretty much Rob Sanchez who was the second man there. Our fast stick defending is something that I'm not very happy with. Oh, that's a terrible challenge there by Hannibal. He has stepped on Moises Caicedo. He might pick up a yellow card, but this again comes from Chelsea trying to overplay, man. Wesley Fofana's ball to Moises Caicedo is suicidal. It's a yellow card for Hannibal. He has to go because he knows if they pinch the ball here, Burnley are in business. It's a challenge that Moises Caicedo loves to make. This is not a good pass by Wesley Fofana. That is not a good challenge by Hannibal. He acknowledged that he was late, and it's on that Achilles. Yep, that Achilles tendon. Right on that heel that could be really sore. It's a yellow card for the former Manchester United player. I think he scored a couple of Premier League goals under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, if I'm not mistaken. Hannibal Mabry. Did have a couple of loans, and now, if I'm not mistaken, a permanent signing for Burnley. Got a bit of help from Manchester City with Kyle Walker, Manchester United with Hannibal, a couple of Chelsea players there as with Humphreys and Ugochukwu. I think they've got Armando Broja as well, don't they, on the bench. That's a very good pass down the right-hand side. Pedro Neto does very well helping out defensively, forcing Burnley to go back. Here's Ugochukwu. Lovely play there by Andre Santos. Chelsea pinched the ball here. Here's Enzo Fernandez, Cole Palmer. Burnley immediately in retreat. Chelsea once again just slowing things down. Caicedo. Wesley Fofana shifts it onto the right-hand side. Reece James with a lovely first touch. Enzo Fernandez and Reece James combine. Here's Caicedo. Thought about playing Malo Gusto in the central areas. Andre Santos finds Pedro Neto. Heavy touch there from the Portuguese. That's a terrible second touch. A couple of very poor touches there from Portuguese international. Fofana does well against Jaden Anthony. Should go back to Sanchez. Sanchez looking to play out the back. Oh, he's turned the ball over. Poor play there from Rob Sanchez. Here's Bashir Humphreys. Finds Joe Worrell. Again, have we troubled Martin Dubravka enough after scoring the opening goal? Caicedo immediately pounces that nicely there. Here's Pedro Neto immediately back to Caicedo. Chelsea need the second before half-time, that's for sure. Here's Caicedo. Oh, the back heel is poor and Lauren can comfortably get that. Opening goal was a cracker, but Dubravka has not been tested. Joao Pedro's not had a shot since opening the scoring for us. He's had very little influence in the box. It's a clever pass. Jaden Anthony now running at the Chelsea defence. Here's Fleming. Heavy touch. Shows too much to Trevor Chalobah and kills a perfectly decent opportunity for Burnley. What a terrible pass that is by Malo Gusto. I have no idea why he's trying to play a no-look pass with his weaker left foot first time. Keep possession. Scotty Parker would have been fearing the worst after Chelsea scored the early goal courtesy of Joao Pedro. But since then, his team have coped well. Here's Hannibal. Lovely run here from Hannibal. Oh, what a terrible challenge that is from Wesley Fofana. It's a yellow card for the Frenchman. Beautiful movement there from Hannibal Mabry, who just gets past. Oh, the way that he just breezes past Joao Pedro is poor, but that challenge from Wesley Fofana is low IQ, man. He can see that Andre Santos is coming. Why are you making the challenge from there? It's a terrible challenge. It's almost like a challenge of boredom. You're just bored, you want something to happen and you just go charging in. Needless, absolutely needless. We saw Chalobah. That was slightly deeper with Burnley having an opportunity to whip the ball into the box. This is about 22 yards away from goal. Burnley have an opportunity to curl this one in here. Edwards and Fleming, 2 out of the front 3, debating this one. Kyle Walker's invested, I would say, even slightly throwing his name in the hat, trying to have a blast from distance. Captain might pull rank, but he should be letting go. Yep, he just makes himself a presence in the wall. It's Edwards' left foot or Zian Fleming's on the right. Burnley have had very little in terms of forward movement. Chelsea absolutely brain dead, giving Burnley these set piece opportunity. About 25 yards to goals. It's dead central. Could be left or right, so Sanchez has to hold centre. The wall has to do its job. Come on, man. How much time? Really taken 2 minutes before they take the free kick. Just organize the wall. Look at Kyle Walker. Just needless. We need a few brave bodies here to try and close this down. It's Edwards. It's a weak effort. It didn't have the curl on it, neither the power. Just trying to clip that into the corner. Needed something with a lot more finesse. The wall parted there. Joao Pedro and Trevor Chalobah. That is very poor. It looked like a weak free kick immediately after it left his boot. And that's the only reason it squirmed through is because the wall parted, and that cannot happen again. Joao Pedro and Trevor Chalobah have to make sure that if they're beaten over them, fine, but not through them. That cannot happen. That is schoolboy stuff. Joao Pedro, what a magnificent first touch. Cole Palmer gives a return pass. Joao Pedro tries to bring that under control. He just wanted to get that attack going. If he just held on to the ball, waited to look for Cole Palmer, Chelsea might have had a chance. Here's Lauren down the right-hand side. Burnley, make no mistake about it, are growing back into this contest here. That is another terrible foul to give. It's Pedro Neto this time. I mean, Chelsea are playing some really low IQ football here. That is a terrible challenge. And the fact that Pedro Neto is bewildered that that was given as a foul is the real bewildering fact. Terrible. How many chances are you going to allow Burnley to put this ball into the box, man? We are tempting it. Is it a yellow card for Neto as well? So bad. 3 needless challenges, 3 needless set pieces. Burnley have not punished us yet. And after taking the early lead, Chelsea have played some really lackluster football. Anthony plays it short this time to Kyle Walker. Here's the skipper towards the far stake. Andre Santos makes himself a nuisance. And Joao Pedro clears. Burnley set pieces lacking here. And it's Cole Palmer. He's through on goal. It's Cole Palmer. Whoa, that's a weak effort. Straight at Dubravka. Well, some way, somehow, Cole Palmer was through on goal. He didn't have the pace. He needed to take it early on because of Kyle Walker's recovery pace. Walker did the right thing there. Doesn't make the challenge on Cole Palmer. Palmer, I thought he might have chipped, and maybe the Palmer of old would have gone for the little dink. Went for a really poor shot in the end. It was straight at Dubravka. Was a chance for us to go 2-0 up, but again, that was something out of absolutely nothing. The way that we worked that first goal was really special, but since then, our attacking play, lackluster. Here's Hannibal, who's had a decent first half. Here's Humphreys, again up against Reece James. He's had very little joy, and Reece pinches the ball off Bashir Humphreys, and now James on the right-hand side. It's a late whistle, very late whistle. Reece James refusing to give the ball back to Hannibal. Good luck trying to wrestle the ball off the Chelsea skipper. Not sure whether or not that really was a foul. It wasn't a decisive call. Humphreys' first touch was heavy. Maybe just a foul, but there's very little in it. Oh, come on. That's a tap on the shin at the very most. Anyway, Burnley get away with it. Here's Hannibal. I would say Chelsea need to get that second goal. Another foul. Oh my goodness, this is like 5 or 6 fouls Chelsea have committed in real quick time. This one deep in the Burnley half. It's not really going to be punitive for us, but just allowing Burnley to get away with a bit of pressure here. Chelsea were relentless after scoring the goal, really pinned Burnley back, but since then it's been a few occasions. João Pedro has not had a strike on goal. Cole Palmer had a chance to make it 2-0. Okay, I'm not sure how that's a foul from Enzo Fernandez, man. He gets his foot in ahead of Hannibal. Let's have a look here. Yep. I mean, I like what Fernandez did there in terms of trying to get forward. I'm a big fan of Enzo Fernandez, but this first half ain't been it. Nowhere near the levels. He's been lackluster. He's been a bit of a passenger, to be very honest. Especially against a team. Oh, Burnley win the first ball here and shift it onto the right-hand side. Cross comes into the box. Chance here. Oh, thankfully, Reece James clears. It's a corner for Burnley. Chelsea don't deal with the danger here. Andre Santos gets caught in the air. And now Burnley on the right-hand side could have caused a lot of problems. Chalobah doesn't deal with it. The ball squirms towards the right-hand side. Decent ball in there from Lauren. Jaden Anthony doesn't get the contact on it. Reece James. Perfect. Here's Anthony. Ball into the box. Excellent header there by Wesley Fofana. Here's Hannibal. Mabry with the strike. It's straight at Sanchez. Well, Hannibal has had a couple of pops on goal. Both on target. That one was a decent strike there. Sat up nicely. Straight down the throat of Rob Sanchez. 5 minutes plus added on time remaining here. Chelsea have left the door open here for Burnley. There's Moises Caicedo. Second goal before half-time. Just what we need. I think Liam Rossignol needs to ask us to up the tempo here in the final 5. Ooh, Leeds United are 1-0 up against Aston Villa at Villa Park. Very, very interesting, but we'll get back to that later as Enzo Fernandez finds Malo Gusto chance. Well, Malo Gusto from left back made the run towards the fast stick down the right-hand side. Well, Chelsea had a chance with the counter-attack here. João Pedro just plays a long and hopeful pass. Kyle Walker's first touch is diabolical. And Cole Palmer's through on goal here. He could have gone for the chip. It was a really weak finish. Walker thought about bringing Palmer down, but don't need to see replays of that poor Palmer finish. Could have been the second for Chelsea before halftime, the tonic that we needed, but looks like we need to create that rather than just be handed a gift. Wesley Fofana finds Cole Palmer, gets away from Hannibal. Hannibal's upset that the press wasn't coordinated, wasn't synchronized. Palmer gets away from him with a bit of skill. Here's Moises Caicedo. Finds Palmer. Palmer, beautiful pass onto the left-hand side. It's weighted to perfection there for Pedro Neto. Neto up against Walker. Neto on his right foot. Here's Palmer again. Palmer in the box, trying to trick his way through, but not enough agility there. But Burnley lose the ball. Here's Enzo Fernandez, edge of the box. Chelsea pinning Burnley back here. 3 minutes plus added on time remaining in this first half. Chelsea have been good, but really need to excel and add that second. Burnley in the last 10 minutes have had nearly 70% of the ball at Stamford Bridge. Didn't look like it, but slowly but surely growing into the game. Here's Moises Caicedo. It was his pass to Pedro Neto that really opened up the Burnley defence. From there it was regulation stuff from the Portuguese who just put that across the face of goal for João Pedro. Here's Wesley Fofana. Reece James put in a couple of decent deliveries. Bashir Humphries has really struggled against the Chelsea skipper. Here's Chalobah. Cole Palmer down the left-hand side. Decent acceleration. Here's Palmer in the box. Lauren thought about touching but withdrew his hand, and rightfully so. Chelsea now looking to just cut Burnley open here. Cole Palmer, clever flick. Pedro Neto looking to keep that in. He can't, and it's a throw-in for Burnley. Fair play to Burnley. Side in the relegation zone could have very easily crumbled. To their credit, they've kept the game alive. As it stands, Chelsea looking to close the gap on Aston Villa. And as it stands, it's 3 points. Come on. And Manchester United are travelling to Goodison Park for Monday night football. So there's a real chance for Chelsea to open up a bit of daylight and put the pressure on Aston Villa. I'm expecting Liverpool to beat Nottingham Forest, but away from home at the City Ground, new manager, you never know. Oh, lovely there from Pedro Neto, but he loses the ball. Here's Jadon Anthony. Lauren finds Anthony again. Touch away from Malo Gusto. Great pace there from Jadon Anthony. Please don't foul him. Let him play on. What a challenge there from Trevor Chalobah. A minute plus added on time remaining. That's the kind of challenge we need. Malo Gusto thought about bringing him down for a needless free kick. Oh, Caicedo, what are you doing there? Chelsea have been really untidy. Really untidy towards the end of the first half. Again, our ball retention has been poor. Pretty bog standard. Here's Reece James. Andre Santos. 30 seconds plus added on time remain in the first half. Here's Malo Gusto. Trevor Chalobah. Can Chelsea create one more opportunity before half-time? We'll wait and see. Here's Neto. Again, very slow build-up this. Neto, again, why is he on the right-hand side? I don't understand that tactic. Keep him on the left. Let him deliver the ball first time into the box. That's his skill. Chalobah does very well. Malo Gusto's first touch is decent, but it forces him to go backwards. Oh, my word, Rob Sanchez and Moises Caicedo deal with that somehow. Putting real pressure on us. 2 minutes of added on time has been signaled by the fourth official. Here's Wesley Fofana. Finds Andre Santos. Chelsea look to be just taking that 1-0 lead at half-time. It ain't great, but it's good enough. Here's Reece. Again, tempo. That's got to be the name of the game in the second half. We have to improve the tempo. Played some very slow, sluggish football. Against relegation sides, we need a lot more creativity, a lot more zip in the passes, quick one-touch combinations. That's the way you open the mid-block, the deep blocks. Liam Rossinier would have been relatively pleased with a few aspects. He would be very happy with the first goal, man. It was Caicedo who just puts in an absolute magic delivery. Pedro Neto does the right thing. It wasn't the cleanest of finish from João Pedro. Scruffy, but a typical centre-forward-like finish. I need to start learning to do the João Pedro celebration. Is that right? Or is it the other finger over? But the way that he pulls it out every week. Got to learn the celebration. We know the Cole Palmer one. Again, such a needless free kick to concede just before half-time, man. This has been another complaint that I've had. Needless free kicks conceded in our own half to a side Burnley that have really struggled in open play. Don't give them these opportunities. So poor. Andre Santos just wanted to leap for the ball. Don't think he's done too much wrong there. I understand that there is contact on Leslie Ugochukwu, but we are into borrowed time here in stoppage time. Hannibal will have just about enough time to take this free kick. Burnley looking for an unlikely equalizer just before half-time here at Stamford Bridge. Hannibal delivers. Chelsea clear. Cole Palmer should get rid of this. And the half-time whistle blows. Just about enough from Chelsea in the first half. Moises Caicedo instrumental for Chelsea, opening up the Burnley defence for Pedro Neto to flash that across the face of goal for João Pedro to get his 11th Premier League goal. The Brazilian is on fire in the Premier League for us. He was instrumental in getting us those 2 goals away at Napoli to book us in the round of 16 in the Champions League as well. Such has been the impact of João Pedro since Liam Rossinier has taken over. He has been fantastic, but since Chelsea scored in the 4th minute, we have been really lackluster in the first half. Plenty to improve on. Burnley still have the door open here, so Scotty Parker will be telling his players that there is a chance to try and get a point, maybe even 3. But it's half-time at the Bridge. Chelsea 1, Burnley 0. Yeah, so halftime analysis. Halftime analysis. So it's the halftime analysis. That's better. A couple of things that I would like to get away in terms of the negatives has been the needless free kicks that we keep conceding here. The Trevor Chalobah and the Wesley Fofana one close to the box. That cannot happen, especially when it's 1-0. When it's a needless challenge, when there's cover, if you're the last man, fine, make the challenge, But when there's cover to go lunging in, it's really schoolboy stuff, and we shouldn't be doing that. Chalobah and Fofana have been relatively untroubled by Zian Fleming, Jaden Anthony, and Marcus Edwards. So just means that we don't have to give Burnley anything silly in terms of an opening goal. Did that against Leeds. We were 2-0 up, coasting. Caicedo concedes a penalty, and within a few minutes it's 2-2. So we cannot allow that to happen, that's for sure. And then I think down our wings we've been pretty poor in terms of our attack. Pedro Neto, pretty much that one chance in terms of putting the ball into the box. Reese on the right hand side has put in some decent deliveries. Other than that, our wing play has been pretty much non-existent. Cole Palmer has been drifting into the central areas. Enzo Fernandez has been positionless. I think Enzo has been suffering from that here today because saw him pop up on the right hand side, sometimes in the center, maybe in the number 10 position. Maybe a bit more structures needed from Enzo Fernandez's point of view. João Pedro, brilliant goal, but again, anonymous since scoring in the 4th minute. And that cannot happen, especially for a striker at home. We need him to get involved. But a lot of positives. As it stands, Chelsea in 4th, 3 points behind Aston Villa. Villa cannot be dropping points, especially with Chelsea breathing down their necks. And Leeds United, who took 5 points off us, if they can take 3 away from Aston Villa, that would be a huge help. Massive, massive help, really. But there's still 45 minutes remaining at Villa Park, like at Stamford Bridge. As it stands, perfect start to the weekend. If Chelsea win, I can just put my feet up and enjoy the rest of the weekend in terms of Premier League football. We've got Newcastle at home hosting Manchester City, and of course tomorrow, which I will be live for, the North London derby, Tottenham Hotspur under new management Igor Tudor taking on the league leaders Arsenal, who've had a tough couple of weeks. 2 wins and 7 for the league leaders, with Manchester City breathing down their necks. Cannot lose situation for Mikel Arteta's men, but it's 1-0 at the Bridge, and I'll be back very shortly for the start of the second half. It's been a decent watch. I thought pre-match my prediction would have been maybe 3-0. Again, a bit of hope, but also belief, knowing that my team can get the job done if they are a serious institution. And when we decide to behave like one, we do play some very good football. couple of minutes away from the start of the second half. Chelsea 1-0 to the good as it stands in fourth. 3 points behind Aston Villa, who drop points. As it stands, are in risk of dropping some needless points at home to Leeds United. Leeds United doing very well to try and climb out of the relegation zone. As it stands, Leeds are in 14th. That is fantastic from them, man. That's actually really, really good. 14th position. Something that we did not expect Daniel Farke's men, but with Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Lucas Nemecha, Ethan Ampadu, a lot of decent players there. Chance for them to really put some distance as Burnley are. They'll feel that there is something there for them in this match. Chelsea have really backed off since getting the early goal in the 4th minute. Joao Pedro scoring. Yet another goal at the Stamford Bridge for the Brazilian. 11 Premier League goals for Joao Pedro, who has been absolutely sensational, man. I mean, guys, this guy is a serious centre forward. But what my gripe is in that first half is, after all the chances that Joao Pedro is capable of scoring, we did not create a single chance for him for the rest of the first half. And that is a huge red flag from Chelsea's point of view, especially at home to a side battling relegation. The objective was to go 2-0 up as quickly as possible and try and get the third in the second half. We saw this against Leeds United. We were 2-0 up, played some of the best football that we did in the first half. We haven't done that this time, but it's a real letdown and it's an opportunity for Burnley, really. Well, changes, I don't think Chelsea really need to make too many changes in terms of personnel. In terms of the personnel in the system, I would like to see a bit more structure because we're trying to be as fluid as possible with the front three that is supplying to Joao Pedro, right? So we see like Pedro Neto on the left-hand side, then on the right, Cole Palmer on the right, then in the number 10, Enzo Fernandez floating everywhere to try and fill the gaps. A bit more certainty in terms of our attack, I think will give us a lot more structure because it's been anyone pick up kind of positions, and that's why we have not been able to supply Joao Pedro, and that needs to be immediately the point that has to be rectified in the second half for us. Cannot just let the game drift, and the longer this stays at 1-0, Burnley will feel that one set piece, one moment of craziness from Chelsea, because Chelsea have not been polished at the back either. There have been a few opportunities where they have just left the door open, left a pass short. Wesley Fofana, Trevor Chalobah, Rob Sanchez, Andre Santos, Moises Caicedo, all guilty of just making those extra passes which has not been needed. It's something that Chelsea need to really shut up shop. Again, I don't expect either side to make a change early on. Burnley's point of view, I think from minute 30 to minute 45, they were very much in it. Couple of shots on target. Hannibal has had a few efforts. Leslie Ugochukwu had one from the Chelsea from the corner, really. Couple of decent attempts. Might take an ugly deflection, you never know. But Chelsea cannot allow the Burnley players to shoot here in front of goal. Zian Fleming has been pretty much feeding off scraps. Chelsea did have the opportunity to get the second after a long punt by Joao Pedro in his own half. Nearly found. Well, it did find Cole Palmer through on goal after that miscontrol there by Kyle Walker. It was through on goal, the Englishman, but hit it straight at Dubravka. Needed a bit more culture, a bit more finesse about the finish rather than just going for power instead. But looks like Kyle Walker won't be able to continue here. Burnley are making a change. Their skipper, just lasting 45 minutes at Stamford Bridge here. Massive, massive second half coming up here at the Bridge. Chelsea cannot afford to drop points. With Arsenal coming up next at the Emirates Stadium, Chelsea need to go in there with the best of forms. It's been 4 wins out of 5 for Liam Rosenior's men. Can they make it 5 out of 6 before the game against the table toppers away from home, which is going to be Liam Rosenior's toughest test since joining the club? Off and running for the start of the second half. Perez coming on for Kyle Walker. Might just be a straight swap, or will we see Bashir Humphries on the right-hand side? Yep, we're seeing Humphries on the right, and he's left a pass short here for Joao Pedro. Can he get there first? Pedro does very well. Here's Joao Pedro. He's got support. Clever pass. Cole Palmer. What a challenge. Oh, that is a brilliant last-ditch interception. It's a cruncher on Cole Palmer, and might just end up to be a goal kick. Joe Worrell bails out Bashir Humphries. That is really poor from Humphries. On the right-hand side, it's a clumsy pass. Joao Pedro does very well and then plays the reverse pass to Cole Palmer. Oh, that is terrible from Bashir Humphries. Slipping under no pressure. This is clever here from Joao Pedro with the reverse to Cole. Cole just looks to shoot. Oh, that's a high challenge there by Joe Worrell. He's gotten a bit of the ball, but he's gotten a lot out of Cole Palmer as well. Oh, it's a clean challenge, but does catch the Achilles of the number 10. Wins the ball first. Joe Worrell really bailing out his side. And not just that, prevents a corner. So run for Cole. In an ideal scenario, Chelsea get another couple of goals and Cole Palmer can rest. It's a nice challenge there by Joe Worrell, but his studs do catch Cole Palmer, but he does get the ball first. And it's a last-ditch challenge. The only real question is, did you get the ball first? And the answer was yes. Joe Worrell did very well to bail out Bashir Humphries. Humphries would have had his heart beating out of his chest there after that really poor back pass. Burnley in open play have really struggled to really create against Chelsea. Last thing Chelsea need to do is hand them the initiative. We've looked to bait the Burnley press. Lucas Pires coming on for Burnley in the second half. Any connection to Robert Pires? I'm not really sure. Haven't really seen someone with the surname Pires in a very long time since the Frenchman. Good pressure applied by Andre Santos. Joao Pedro does very well. Here's Cole Palmer. Palmer shifts it onto the right-hand side to Reece James. James ball into the box. Oh, it's good header there from Worrell. Some big interceptions from the big centre half. Here's Malo Gusto. And Joao Pedro has done very well in terms of winning the ball back, linking the forward play. But he needs to be end of the chances, really. Here's Wesley Fofana. Bit of a Cruyff turn to get away from pressure. There's Andre Santos. Again, Moises Caicedo. Need a bit of his creativity from deep as well. It's the one that really opened up the Burnley defence in the 4th minute. 2 passes. That's all it took to open up the stubborn Burnley defence. Something that Chelsea might have to do again. Here's Fofana. Finds Trevor Chalobah. Here's the vice captain now, Enzo Fernandez. He's featuring on the right-hand side. That's a poor pass there by Enzo. Lucas Pires. He's going to be the left wing back by the looks of it. Oh, Reece James just caught napping there. Didn't go for the first ball with that same vigour. Throw in for Burnley Football Club. Again, in the second half, Chelsea really need to move the ball a whole lot quicker. Need to move that Burnley deep block around. 1 or 2 touch passes at best. Keep those rotations going. Make sure that Joao Pedro's have a couple of efforts at goal as well. That needs to be rectified. Your top goal scorer cannot have just 1 shot. Malo Gusto reads that very well, but shows too much there to Bashir Humphries. That's a needless foul there by Malo. Just a let-off there really for Bashir Humphries. Started the game as left wing back, now as right wing back. Forced to display his versatility after Kyle Walker played just the 45 minutes at Stamford Bridge. Could have been sent off really when Cole Palmer was through on goal. If he decided to make any sort of contact on Cole, that was a straight red card. There's Estevan Willian. He has a hamstring issue, which means that he isn't part of the squad today. He is in the stadium. Good to see that. Getting some hydration going, making sure that he's ready. And by the looks of it, against Arsenal, no Esteval, no Mark Cucurella, no Jamie Gittins. Chelsea having a few injury concerns, but Romeo Lavia is back. Decent ball forward. Lauren trying to bring that down, but Well defended. Malo Gusto, as the left back today, has had very few problems defensively. Going forward, that's been the only concern. Moises Caicedo will be credited with the pass that led up to the goal. So you call it a pre-assist. Chalobah switches very nicely to Reece James on his left foot as well. Reece finds Enzo Fernandez. Oh, look at Reece James barreling down the right-hand side. With Reece, you don't really want to see him do that. Last thing we want is to Reece to really hunt down the touchline. Enzo Fernandez has to make sure, but Chelsea win the ball back here. It's Cole Palmer. It's João Pedro Cleverton. João Pedro, what a block! It's Bashir Humphries who makes amends. João Pedro getting an effort on target. Brilliant block there for Bashir Humphries. Again, Burnley, they're masters of their own downfall. Their needless loss of possession. Good pressure applied there from Chelsea. Enzo Fernandez finds Cole Palmer. This is a lovely turn, this from João Pedro on his left foot, but Humphries, great recovery there from the youngster. Brilliant challenge. That's on target. It's probably 2-0 because that was arrowing into the bottom corner by the looks of it. Chelsea do have the corner though. They've taken it short. Palmer finds Andre Santos. Game still open here for Burnley. That's the worst nightmare for any Chelsea fan. Clever there from Reece James. Oh, that's certainly a foul there by Lauren. It's a shove on Malo Gusto. It's a free kick for Chelsea. That second goal could not come quicker, man. I don't care how it comes now. It doesn't need to be a beautiful goal. Just get that ball into the back of the net. Poor there from Lauren. He's trying to lean his, almost like a stiff arm in NFL. Works well in that sport, but not allowed in this beautiful game here as Neto and Reece James deliberate who's going to whip this ball into the box. It should be the right foot of Reece James maybe, but it could be the left foot that curls away from the goalkeeper from Pedro Neto. Neto already has an assist in this match. Can he get another? Don't play it short. Just whip this ball into the box. Don't play it short. Here's Reece James. Looks for goal and it's comfortable for Dubravka. That was arrowing into the top corner. What's happening here? Are they going to retake this free kick? It's Zian Fleming. Him and Wesley Fofana. Don't see anything too wrong here. And if Chelsea can reload this, this is really unfortunate because I don't see a foul there. Yep, it's take two. Fortunate from Chelsea's point of view, but we'll take it. Needs to be a better one, this from Reece. Reece James again. Ah, it's the same result. Poor there from Reece. Slightly flatter. Was the same outcome. Burnley on the attack here. Trevor Chalobah covering a lot of ground very quickly. Chelsea have enough bodies back. Don't commit the foul, please. No free kicks. No free kicks. Has to be the main message from Liam Rossinier. No free kicks. Not at the edge of the box. Not in any opportunity that allows Burnley to put the ball into a box. They score with a screamer. Fair play. Put your hands up. But Chelsea need that second goal, man. This game is really on the knife edge. Burnley are 6 points behind 18th place West Ham United. Just shows you the task in hand that Scotty Parker has to try and get his team out of relegation threat. They are one of the teams that are tipped to go down. We know that Wolves are going to go down. Expecting Burnley to be the second team. In the third, West Ham, Nottingham Forest, Leeds, even Spurs, man. I would even add Crystal Palace to that list, man. They've got real turmoil going on with what Oliver Glasner is saying post-match. He's pretty much got one foot out the door. They might really pull the trigger and sack him here. There's been a lot of turnover in managers this season. Nottingham Forest sacking Nuno and Sean Dyche all in a season. Trevor Chalobah, poor pass there, well intercepted. Here's Leslie Ugochukwu. Shifts it onto the right-hand side. Here's Lauren. Lorraine whips the ball into the box. Decent ball in, header by Fleming. And Fofana should clear, and he does. That's the threat that Burnley have with this scoreline at 1-0. Cole Palmer does very well to use his body. Creates a bit of separation. Brilliant from Cole Palmer. Look for Enzo Fernandez. He goes by himself. It's Pedro Neto. It's another magnificent block. It's Joe Worrell again. This guy is unbreakable. Again, Cole Palmer has to find Enzo Fernandez. He decides to find Pedro Neto instead. It's a heavy pass. First touch is decent there for Neto. But Leslie Ugochukwu did really well to shift the ball down the right-hand side for Burnley. This ball in, can't wait too much. It's a brilliant delivery, really. Zian Fleming gets his header across for Jaden Anthony. Pretty end-to-end stuff there. 10 minutes into the second half. A couple of big blocks from Joe Worrell. Chelsea looking for the second here. It's another set-piece situation here. Reece James trying to open Burnley with the set-piece. Burnley somehow defend that well enough, but there's a foul given, and it's, I think, Trevor Chalobah. Wasted opportunity there from the Blues. Chalobah and Fleming. Yep, clear foul there by Trevor Chalobah. 2 hands on the back of the Dutch centre forward. The James Ward-Prowse. He'll be entering the fray very shortly as Leslie Ugochukwu. His return at Stamford Bridge lasts 10 minutes into the second half. And it's a change. It's a different kind of change here from Burnley. They're going with a bit more quality on the ball and a little more resistance in midfield. Ugochukwu, very decent shift from the Frenchman. But it's James Ward-Prowse now, who made the move from West Ham United in the January window. Looking to try and keep Burnley safe. He has scored at Stamford Bridge when he was at Southampton. And Chelsea were on the Graham Potter. It was a free kick, I remember that. Chelsea have left the door open, man. This is really uncomfortable territory. We need that second goal. We come close. Better second half. A couple of big blocks by Joe Worrell. Really need to trouble Dubravka a lot more. Cole Palmer's efforts need to carry a little bit more weight. Needs to try finding the corner rather than just trying to hit the cover of the ball. Zian Fleming has started to gain a lot more influence. That is very cynical there from Fleming. I hate when centre forwards do that, man. They know that the centre back is going to challenge in the air with the ball. He's kept an eye on the centre back. He's just waiting for him to get in the air and then just lean into him. It's a very dangerous play. It can look very innocuous, but it is dangerous play. Neto tries to get there ahead of Lauren. It's a throw in for Chelsea. Look at Joao Pedro, man. He just wants to get a move on. Had a decent effort, which was blocked phenomenally well by Joe Worrell. On the Cruyff turn on his left foot. Cole Palmer and Joao Pedro really haven't combined. A couple of opportunities only. And Chelsea through the central areas where Liam Rossini really does like his team playing. Not on the wide side, but create the overload and then use the central areas. Here's Neto drifting infield. Commits a lot of players. Clever pass. Malo Gusto cut back. Cole Palmer's first touch is so bad. Oh my word. A better first touch, and that's a shot on goal. Brilliant pass there to Malo Gusto though. It's Cole Palmer. Thought about the shot. Gets away from Mabry. Andre Santos keeps it short. Reece James wants the pass release. He's not going to get there. That's a terrible pass by Wesley Fofana, but he gets there again. Brilliant from Wesley. Here's Fofana. Here's Cole Palmer. Thought about the shot. Malo Gusto hands it back to Cole. Cole somehow shifts it onto the right-hand side. Reece's pass has to be better to Enzo Fernandez. Chelsea better. Can improve though. Here's Andre Santos. Cole Palmer. Again, Chelsea in the central areas trying to penetrate the Burnley backline. Joao Pedro does very well to win the ball back. He's won it. Here's Malo Gusto. Finds Joao Pedro. Poor pass there by Malo, but Chelsea win the ball back again. Malo on the left-hand side has to check in. Finds Pedro Neto now. Chelsea slowing the attack. Andre Santos surveying his options. Here's Wesley Fofana. Half an hour remain at the bridge here. Enzo Fernandez. There's a player that I would hook. It's probably Enzo Fernandez. A bit of rest will do him no harm. He's not been influential. He hasn't really had an effect on the game. It's just been an auxiliary attacker for us, really. Here's Moises Caicedo. Shifts it onto the right-hand side. It's Fofana making the overlap from centre-back. Reece ignores him. I don't think Wesley will be making another overlap. Fofana does have the ball, though, and it's a decent cross in. It's headed away by Esteve. Trevor Chalobah wins the first header. Chelsea win the ball back again. Enzo Fernandez, decent cushion with the chest to Reece James. Chelsea's brain trust, the leadership group, trying to open up the Burnley back line now. Caicedo, James, Enzo Fernandez. Here's Andre Santos. Pedro Neto, go on the outside. Neto, he does. Looks to whip the ball in, checks his run again. Here's Malo Gusto, Andre Santos. Chelsea getting a lot of touches outside the Burnley box. Chalobah looks to switch it, gets well intercepted. Jadon Anthony can lead the Burnley counter-attack now. And Reece James does very well. Immediately snuffs out the attack. Pretty much sums up Burnley. Resolute defensively, but going forward have had very little. Rob Sanchez has had a couple of efforts to try and deal off Hannibal Mabry, but other than that, it's been pretty comfortable. But still, all it takes is one moment, man. At 1-0 at home, it's such a tricky scoreline. 60 minutes at Villa Park, and it's still 1-0 to Leeds United. 3 points behind Aston Villa as it stands. Brilliant. What a weekend this would be for us, especially with Manchester United and Liverpool both travelling away. Manchester United going away to Goodison Park against David Moyes. That game will have a bit of spice attached to it for sure. And then, of course, Nottingham Forest under new management against Liverpool at the Forest Ground. Fofana does well. Again, front foot defending of Fofana is very good. It's when the balls are floated into the boxes where Fofana gets caught up on multiple occasions. Here's Enzo Fernandez, finds Reece James. And Chelsea will need to make changes, but the changes are not obvious, and the changes will reduce our quality, that's for sure. If you bring on someone like Garnacho down the left-hand side for Pedro Neto, maybe like for like. But if you take off Reece James, Cole Palmer, Liam Delap, there is a huge quality issue after that. Neto's offside. Chelsea waste yet another promising opportunity. It's a lot of sideways passes, man. We're not really looking to open up Burnley. This was a chance. Pedro Neto did very well to find Malo Gusto, who was onside. Clever pass. Malo does very nicely. See, if Palmer lets that go, it's straight to Fernandez on his right foot, and that's his arrowing into the corner. Palmer decides to take a touch instead, and that touch was really, really poor. On his right foot. Possibly the worst touch, really, in terms of either with Fernandez having a shot, or he could set up the shot himself for him. Does neither. It's a free kick for Chelsea. Dejan Fleming has put himself about a lot more in the second half. We've seen his presence. Palmer, 8 Premier League goals at home against Burnley. Oh my word, Rob Sanchez, what are you doing? Andre Santos in trouble. Burnley attacking now. I know what's coming, man. Chelsea playing just unnecessarily inviting pressure, you know. Malo does very well, but he loses out. Again, Rob Sanchez cannot be the coolest man on the pitch here. Needs to play with urgency, needs to make sure that urgency translates to the back line. That's a terrible pass by Hannibal. It's Cole Palmer. Oh, terrible pass by Cole again, but he wins the ball back somehow. João Pedro, it's Cole Palmer. Oh, it's poor again from Palmer. He cannot make anything stick, but João Pedro does very well. Oh, Pedro Neto thought he was fouled. Andre Santos, Cole Palmer, lovely drag back. Oh, looking for a bit of skill. Palmer has been really poor in the final third. Nothing has come off for the Englishman. Chelsea keep the attack going, though. Here's Malo Gusto. Again, everybody backing off Malo. Seriously, make a decision. Here's Pedro Neto now. Up against Lauren. Neto. Devilish ball in. Oh, what a delivery that is. Perez does very well to get something on it to divert that for a corner. Neto wanted somebody to make the run towards the far stick. It's Lauren with a needless really challenge on the back of Pedro Neto. I mean, there's enough contact, you know. It's not enough, but challenge at the back of any attacker in the box. It's so needless. I mean, Neto knew that there was not enough, so that's why he got up quickly. But with 25 minutes plus stoppage time remain, the cushion goal for Chelsea still evade us. 25 minutes plus stoppage time remaining. Ball into the box. Decent. Oh, the header's just over. Trevor Chalobah gets his header, but can't divert that on target. It's Joao Pedro who's got his hands in his head. Decent delivery here by Pedro Neto. Just hangs that in the air. Yep, it was Joao Pedro, you know. And having got there, Joao Pedro will feel disappointed that it's just over the crossbar. Huge let off there for Burnley. That could and should have been 2-0 to Chelsea. It's been better from Joao Pedro in the second half. Affecting the box a lot more. Very good header there by Malo Gusto. Joe Worrell in a foot race with Joao Pedro. Dubravka. Oh, he's taken a chance and it's turned out to be decent. Here's Bashir Humphries. Enzo Fernandez. Needless foul. Well, that's a problem here. Liam Rossignol, he knows that there's a massive quality dip if he brings off anyone here. And that's why he's really resisted the urge to make changes. Clever by Malo Gusto. Oh, Trevor Chalobah, careful. Careful enough. Joao Pedro does well to win the first header. Brilliant from Pedro Neto. Clever pass. Cole Palmer, what a terrible first touch. Oh my word, Cole Palmer. I mean, generally Palmer of old just traps that ball, kills it dead and releases the pass down the right hand side, but he can't trap cement. Just hoping that it's one of those games. Here's Andre Santos. Finds Malo Gusto. 23 minutes plus stoppage time remain here at the bridge. Pedro Neto waiting for the overlap. Clever pass there by Andre Santos to Malo Gusto, waiting for the cutback. Well defended by Humphries. It's another corner for Chelsea. Well, Malo Gusto is getting a lot more advanced down the left-hand side. Andre Santos with a brilliant pass. Breaks the lines first time. I think Malo might have just been offside. His trailing leg. Chelsea will get the corner. Opportunity here for Chelsea. Seven corners to Burnley's 2. Reece James delivers. That's poor delivery there from Reece. Reece's corners have not been good. Reece's set pieces have been questionable to say the very least. Palmer does very well to win the ball off Marcus Edwards. Brilliant there from the number 10. Two number 10s shoulder to shoulder. Palmer winning it cleanly. Burnley are readying one more substitute here. Chelsea yet to make a sub. Will be the third change that Scotty Parker has made. Here's Caicedo. Andre Santos. Cole Palmer. Back to Santos. In Chelsea very passive here, but Burnley quickly into their mid block. Fofana. Heavy touch from the Frenchman, but sorts it out. Chalobah looks to do the same, invites a bit of pressure, but that's a brilliant pass there by Trevor Chalobah. Reece James, Chelsea need to progress the ball now. Fernandez, Caicedo, Santos. Lovely drop of the shoulder by the Brazilian, but his pass has been intercepted by James Ward-Prowse. And Santos wins the ball back. Good hounding there from Chelsea off the ball. Here's Pedro Neto. Finds Malo Gusto. Looks centrally again. Here's Moises Caicedo. Shifts it onto the right-hand side for Reece James. Into the 70th minute here. Enzo Fernandez. Clever pass there. Palmer is not going to get a foul there. It's Fleming who helps out defensively. Palmer tries on the half turn. Oh, that's a poor pass. Caicedo's quickly to it. Here's Gusto. It's Pedro Neto down the left-hand side. Decent cutback. It's a very curious ball. Goes all the way to Reece James. James could cross. Decides against it. Fofana. Caicedo. It's Moises Caicedo. It's a good block by Joe Worrell again. That's the fourth block in the second half, man. Caicedo, everybody backed off him. Very good block this. I think it is. Yep, it is Joe Worrell. I Esteve is not getting close enough to the Ecuadorian. It's 20 minutes plus stoppage time remain at Stamford Bridge. This result still hanging in the balance. And it is still 1-0 at Villa Park. Leeds United with that shock lead against the third place team. Unai Emery's side struggling to break down Daniel Farke's men. Another corner for Chelsea. Decent delivery. It's headed away. Another corner. Chelsea have had, 9 corners? Really haven't looked threatening with one of them. I think only the Pedro Neto ball to Joao Pedro's, which his header was just over the crossbar, has been the only threatening moment from set pieces that Chelsea have had. Nearly 70 minutes on the clock. Fofana making the run into Fleming. Good header there by Worrell. He's had a magnificent second half, man, Joe Worrell. Palmer does very well to protect, but he's lost out, and it's Burnley on the counter-attack. Reece James does just enough. Here's James Ward-Prowse. Here's Pires. Oh, he's put under pressure, and they do just enough. Oh, brilliant there. Joao Pedro. Play on, ref! Oh, he's given a foul against us. No way. It's a red card for Wesley Fofana. Second yellow card. What are you smiling about, you idiot? Come on, man. Chelsea leave the door open, and Wesley Fofana, is this Chelsea's 6th or 7th red card? Utterly ridiculous. Will miss the game against Arsenal as well. Oh, that is terrible from Wesley Fofana. What are you doing there, Wesley? Terrible. Both his challenges. The one to get the yellow and then the red. Shocking. Absolutely shocking from our so-called experienced defender. He's thrown it away, man. Fuck's sake. Why do we keep doing this? We keep doing it, man. This reminds me of Brighton at home. We were coasting. We were 1-0 up. For fuck's sake, man. Wesley Fofana, that is shocking. What's up, Manny? Can't believe it, man. We're looking so comfortable, looking threatening for the second goal, and Wesley Fofana decides to lunge in like that on a yellow card. Our experienced defender. And that has left the door open for Burnley. And fucking hell, if we drop points again to a side at home, which is in the relegation zone, I'm going to lose it. Here's Edwards. Ball in for Fleming. Reece James does very well. Might have to make a defensive substitution. I would bring on a centre-half, maybe Josh Achimpong or even Mohamed Osar. It doesn't matter. But take off Enzo Fernandez. I think even Palmer, man, if I would take off Palmer as well, because it's not really worked for him, but we also do need that second goal. I think Fernandez would be my pick if Chelsea are to make that substitution. So needless, man. I've lost track of time. The number of times we've picked up needless red cards. Oh, it's happening again, isn't it, Manny? Why do we do this to ourselves? I swear. Oh, this is not the change I wanted to see, man. It's Tosin coming on as well for Cole Palmer. Well, I knew Palmer was going to be one of the candidates who's coming off. He's had a really poor game. But for Tosin, I'm not sure. Cole, you cannot have any complaints. I'm surprised that it's Cole and not Enzo Fernandez, but we need a bit of midfield solidity as well. I'm not sure, but this decision could haunt us if Chelsea don't kill this game off. Fuck's sake, man. We do it every time to ourselves. At home especially. And IFS.ai, are we going to have the worst start to the new front of shirt sponsor? Well, the first change Chelsea have made is in the 75th minute, and that's because Wesley Fofana decides to get himself sent off, and Cole Palmer is the sacrificial lamb. Palmer had chance after chance to try and make it 2-0, but his control really let himself down today. We've got Arsenal next weekend. He's not happy. My pick would have been Enzo Fernandez. I think he's had a very poor match. Has really not affected the game in defensively, offensively. Just been... His stats will look good, make no mistake about it. He's covered a lot of ground, a lot of decent passes, but I think Palmer on and Enzo off would have been the decision. But We're going with experience in the back line now. It's been the experienced centre halves that has really let us down at some point. Again, this is where Chelsea need to really lock in. 15 minutes plus stoppage time remaining. Yep, Manny, Tosin on, Palmer off, and nobody has passed to Enzo. That's what I mean, I get it, but I think Enzo has been positionless today, man. He's just popped up everywhere, not really doing too much. It's probably because of what Liam Rossini has asked him to do, because we don't really have wingers in our team. It's only Pedro Neto on the left-hand side. Here's Perez. Yep, every time he was in a good position in the box, passes never come, gone to Neto and Palmer every single time. Well, I understand why it goes to Palmer, but Palmer in this match really did let himself and the team down. Here's Bashir Humphreys. Gets it on his left foot. Burnley have all the encouragement that they need to try and nick a point here. And it just might be back-to-back game weeks at home against relegation-threatened sides that we might end up without 3 points. Look how the game has changed, man. This is the first time you're seeing Chelsea defend at the edge of the box. Hannibal's ball in towards the back stick. Decent chance. Lauren with the effort. Doesn't catch it cleanly. Well, the centre half in the Chelsea box looking to get that on target. Chelsea again at the back stick. Completely outnumbered. Clever touch pass there by Jadon Anthony. And this is why Enzo Fernandez is still there in the team. He does very well to make sure that he intercepts. Oh my word. Thankfully. Oh, they still have the ball though. Lauren down the right hand side. Cut back. Brilliant effort. Trevor Chalobah. Yeah, Manny. Enzo saved us and still is Chalobah. Chelsea on the ropes. Look at Enzo Fernandez. He's given the ball away again. Here's Lauren. Ball into the box. It's a terrible pass. Chelsea survive. Oh man, we are our own worst enemies. Look at how this game is changed on its head. It is flipped. Why is Enzo in your FPL, Manny? I mean, yeah, 8 Premier League goals is a good return. Again, now JP has really no support. Pedro will have to play that role by his lonesome. Need a bit more pace on the counter-attack, man. Bringing on Garnacho, especially if Burnley are going to have a lot more of the ball, might be the call here, because if Garnacho's got space to operate, could be dangerous for us. Burnley have not taken advantage of the decent situations that they find themselves in. Perez finds himself in the crowd, trying to get the ball into the box. Another change here for Burnley. And with Lauren getting that effort in the box, he's decided, Scotty Parker here, that there is a chance, especially at that far stick, and it's Brun Larsen, the number 7. Might just fancy that right-hand side for Chelsea. Scotty Parker in the depths of a relegation fight, trying to get a point against the side where he formerly played for, 2004-2005 under Jose Mourinho. Was a Premier League winner, but when Michael Essien moved to the club, Scotty Parker decided that his time was up. Yeah, Manny, yeah, Chelsea pen means Enzo Fernandez has a chance to score. Shut up, Manny. Forget about your FPL. We need the 3 points. Here's Edwards. A lot of space. Nobody closing him down, but Edwards' effort is really wayward. Left-footed drive again. Chelsea not doing the basics here. We have the back 4. We have the midfield 3. There is no excuse that Burnley gets shots away from distance. Chelsea are going to make a double substitution, and this is something that I was worried about. Our changes have made us significantly worse, because there are players of lower capacity, low capabilities. João Pedro coming off for Liam Delap. That is 11 Premier League goals off for 1 Premier League goal with Liam Delap. If there's ever a time for Liam Delap to score a goal, this would be it. And Malo Gusto is coming off as well for Jarell Hato. Like-for-like substitutions. Chelsea needing fresh legs. A lot of experience has gone off though. João Pedro and Malo Gusto, both off for Jarell Hato, 19 years of age, and of course Liam Delap, who's had just 1.5 seasons in the top flight. João Pedro, well, as it stands, is our match winner. A typical centre-forward finish after Pedro Neto flashed that across the face of goal. João Pedro on the slide. It's a scruffy finish, but we wouldn't care. 1-0 with 80 minutes on the clock. We have João Pedro to thank for us. Liam Delap, come on. You know I'm not your biggest fan, but if there's ever a time to score a goal, this would be it. Against 19th place Burnley. We don't ask for much. Scored away at Fulham. That's been his only success in the Premier League. But his best performance in the Premier League came in the 30-minute cameo against Manchester City at the Etihad Stadium. I could not believe what I was watching. I had to really scratch my eyes to see whether or not that was actually Liam Delap, because everything he did worked to perfection. It was a brilliant display, but nothing has happened since then. It just gave us a bit of copium. Here's Enzo Fernandez, leaves it short. Oh, Chelsea in trouble now. Edwards drops the shoulder down the right-hand side away from Hato. Decent ball in. What an interception that is from Trevor Chalobah. Full stretch there. Enzo Fernandez needs to take better care of the ball. Here's Andre Santos, needs to do the same. He's not going to get a foul here. It's an arm across the face of Andre. I think the foul has been given. Andre Santos needing to exaggerate that a little bit, but 9 minutes plus added on time. Bashir Humphreys is not happy with the decision. It's an arm across. I don't think it warranted that reaction. You can see Andre Santos immediately lifting his head up to see whether or not the referee took the bait. Brilliant interception there by Trevor Chalobah, because Brun Larsen was just waiting for the ball to fall to him and flash that at Sanchez. Chalobah has been our senior centre-half. Liam Delap, bring it down. Here's Joe Worrell. He's been man of the match for me, man. Joe Worrell for Burnley. Sensational. Oh, Tosin is last man. It's a challenge on Fleming. It's a last man challenge as well. Oh, Chelsea get away with that, but Chelsea cannot allow Tosin to be last man. That cannot happen. Brilliant from Pedro Neto. He gets away from the challenge down the right-hand side. Here's Neto. He's up against Esteve. Brilliant from Pedro Neto. Flashes that across the face of goal. Can't get that there. Jarell Hato's left-footed effort is skewed. Oh, Chelsea down that right-hand side looking really troublesome for Burnley. Chances. Again, it's a long punt forward. Look at Tosin, man. He is running through concrete. Running through porridge. That is poor there from Tosin, man. And he's last man as well. We just cannot afford that to happen. It has to be Trevor Chalobah who follows Fleming every bit of the way. 7 minutes plus added on time remaining at the bridge. Burnley making 2 more changes. Oh, I just have that sick feeling that Burnley are going to equalize, man. Jadon Anthony is off as well. Oh, is that Barnes? Ashley Barnes. Jeez. If you remember Ashley Barnes, he has scored some goals against Chelsea in the past. Humphreys and Anthony is off. Ashley Barnes, Burnley legend. And Chauna from Wolves. Oh man, we have left ourselves in some situation here. Is it still 1-0 at Villa Park? Chelsea are so unserious that I have to keep checking Aston Villa's score. There's still 1-0 there. Chachua does well, but Jarell Hato immediately closes it down. Chance there, Manny, for Jarell Hato, but don't really expect the left back to hit that on the volley in that technique. Here's Brun Larsen. What a ball in! Sanchez! Outstanding. Just gets that away from the danger area. 6 minutes plus stoppage time remaining. Here's Esteve. Goes for the switch out onto the right-hand side. Decent header. Tosin lets that go. Thankfully, it's offside. Chelsea living on the edge here. They're going to float this ball towards the far stick every chance that they get. Again, Fernandez takes an age to get there. Sanchez with a strong forearm to get the ball away from the danger area. It's good from Sanchez. Very good. Brun Larsen. Positive impact since coming on. Wow, this would be a massive 3 points for Chelsea. But man, oh man, have we made heavy weather of yet another home game against a relegation threatened side. Got Arsenal next, guys. Be serious. Decent flick on there by Liam Delap, throw in for Chelsea, high up the pitch. Brun Larsen follows Enzo Fernandez. 5 minutes plus stoppage time remain. Hard work. That's why that second goal is so crucial, man. Liam Rossinier will take the 3 points. What is that from Liam Delap? Who's there in the box for you to put the ball into the box? Idiot. Such low IQ play. Just hands the ball away. Might as well just kick it back into our own half, man. Here's Ward-Prowse. On to the right-hand side. Edwards. Enzo Fernandez dropping deep. Chelsea now with everybody behind the ball. Here's Hannibal. Shifts it onto the left-hand side. Look at Esteve who's making the overlap. And it's a corner for Burnley. Oh my word. The centre halves are taking the piss here for Burnley. They are venturing forward. Again, Tosin against Fleming. That any other day could have been a red card, man. Straight red. Tosin has got eyes on the ball. He's just got an arm around. Oh, jeez. Burnley take it short. Ball into the box, whipped in. The header for Sanchez should be comfortable, and it is. Thankfully, Chelsea survives. Sanchez just hands the ball again. Chelsea are allergic to the football here, man. Couldn't pass the ball, couldn't keep the ball to save our lives. It's just wave after wave of Burnley attacks. How has this game descended into this? But I'm not surprised. This is Chelsea at home all over again. Charity FC. Here's Edwards. Oh, Enzo Fernandez, what are you doing? It's such a lazy leg out, man. It's another free kick for Burnley. This is so poor from Enzo, man. Look at that. It's a lazy leg out. Fofana, Chalobah, Enzo Fernandez, all our so quote-unquote experienced players have really let us down here today. And Chelsea forced to bring on 2 centre-halves in Mamadou Sarr and Josh Achimpong. Try and see this out. That's how desperate things have gotten here. I knew Sarr was tall, but geez, he really is. I mean, because Achimpong is 6'5". Mamadou Sarr, 6'3", maybe 6'4". We need that. We need every inch in the box. As our 2 youngsters from centre half coming on. Neto and Reece James are off. Mamadou Sarr and Josh Achimpong on as Chelsea try to see this out against 19th place Burnley at home. We are sweating this one out. Reece James, maybe a 6 out of 10 performance for the skipper. 2 minutes plus stoppage time remain as Sarr and Achimpong on for Chelsea to try and somehow hold on for all 3 points. It is still 1-0 at Villa Park as well. Chelsea have a chance to go within 3 of 3rd place. James Ward-Prowse as well. Jeez, on the free kick. A lot of players who have haunted Chelsea in the past. Ashley Barnes, James Ward-Prowse, all on the pitch here. It's Ward-Prowse, whips that in, header! It's just over! And it's that combination, Ward-Prowse to Ashley Barnes. Thankfully, Barnes is offside, but his header is just over the crossbar. What a ball into the box this is. It's just a fraction off. Chelsea don't defend that well. It's a cracking header by Ashley Barnes. Again, Tosin getting caught. It's been a terrible cameo by Tosin Adarabioyo. A minute plus stoppage time remain. I am begging for the full-time whistle here. We'll talk about a game heading in terms of confidence against the league leaders next week. This has been completely the opposite. Scott Parker and Liam Rossinier having a few words. Liam Rossinier should have had 5 wins out of 5 after Chelsea were 2-0 up against Leeds United at home. In a crazy 6-minute period, we completely threw it away after Cole Palmer missed in the 93rd minute to give us all 3 points. This one has been a different performance. Got that early goal in the 4th minute. Since then, Chelsea played very little good football, man. Free kick for Chelsea as we are approaching stoppage time. Enzo Fernandez wins the free kick for us. Enzo, I think maybe a 4 or 5 out of 10. Been one of our poor performances from the stand-in skipper now as we're into stoppage time. Chelsea trying to kill as much time as possible. Anthony Taylor, fourth official today, adds 6 minutes of stoppage time. That's plenty of time for Burnley to fashion one good opportunity. I'd be surprised if Chelsea get this into the box. Chelsea just need to keep the ball, man. We haven't kept the ball whatsoever since going down to 10. Enzo Fernandez finds Liam Delap. Immediately goes towards the corner flag. This is going to be Chelsea's tactic for the stoppage time. It probably might need to be. Enzo Fernandez hits that against Hannibal. Chelsea have the ball exactly where we need it to be. Deep in Burnley territory. Oh, just escape with 3 points, man. Wesley Fofana, I will not forget. I remember. Don't forget. I will unleash at full time. But that all depends of Chelsea. Well, regardless, we get all 3 points or we drop 2. Wesley Fofana is catching some strays. 5 minutes of stoppage time remain. Here's Hannibal Mabry. Sanchez has picked up a yellow card too. Here's Hannibal. Switches on to the right-hand side. Here's Brun Larsen. Again, somebody get to him. James Ward-Prowse. Burnley substitutes all combining here. It's Brun Larsen down the right-hand side. Brilliant from Andre Santos, but it's a corner for Burnley. Andre Santos tracks the run of the number 7 on the slide. Celebrates that like he scored a goal. Corner for Burnley though. They're getting closer and closer. This is going to be a nervy 5 minutes. James Ward-Prowse on corner duties. Whip ball in by Ward-Prowse. The header's on target. It's 1-1. I cannot believe it, but I fully expected it. Burnley equalised at the bridge. James Ward-Prowse finds Fleming, who has had a much better second half, scores, and Chelsea drop points again at home. We are such an unserious institution, man. Liquidate the fucking club. I have nothing to say, man, but it's been coming. Wesley Fofana, fucking idiot, he's killed it for us. And from there, look at the defending. We've got Sar, Achimpong, Chalobah and Tosin. 4 centre-halves. Nobody's picking up the centre-forward here. This is shocking. Free header. Free fucking header, man. Get out of here. We're not a serious team. Get out. This team should not be playing Champions League football. Get out. Look at this. Andre Sand. Who are you marking, Tosin? Can I ask you that question? Nobody. No clean sheet at home. Santos sleeping. Burnley get a point. And we have been so charitable at home to the relegation threatened sides that you cannot believe it, man. We don't capitalize with Aston Villa losing at home as well. Idiots. Top 4. This team, Manny, get out. This is the most unserious institution you'll ever see. Fucking joke, man. How many corners, how many set pieces. None of the 4 centre-halves thought, you know what? I should probably follow the centre-forward, you know. I mean, you can blame the coaches all you want, but that's a player problem. And I told you, this is why Liam Rossignol did not want to make changes, because the quality just goes downhill when Chelsea makes subs. This is the problem that Enzo Maresca had. This is why he didn't rotate, didn't make all those changes, because he knew as soon as Chelsea makes substitution, we get visibly worse. Liam Delap going forward, nothing. I mean, I don't want to blame him. But again, he was just standing there. Terrible. Fucking terrible, man. This club is going to be the death of me. And now Liverpool are going to go ahead of us, aren't they? Manchester United is going to open up a gap. It's going to be the worst weekend ever. Just throw it away. Why don't you? Burnley feel that they can get a winner here, you know. Down the left-hand side, ball in. It's Marcus Edwards. What a block. It could have been 2-1 to Burnley. Chelsea switch off, and it's been a disgusting performance here. Down to 10 men or not, it has been unacceptable. Look at Caicedo, poor. Nobody closing down Edwards. Thankfully, Tosin closes down. It's another corner for Burnley. James Ward-Prowse, how many times are you going to haunt us, man? I knew it. I just knew it. The number of set pieces, needless free kicks we conceded. Just knew that this guy is going to make an impact. 40 seconds remaining. Referee, please blow the full-time whistle. Burnley, they have another corner here with probably the last kick of the match. Ward-Prowse delivers. Chelsea don't defend well again. It's a free header from Brun Larsen, man. Burnley could have easily walked away with all 3 points. Chelsea pushed the self-destruct button. This is a terrible, unserious team. Nobody. It's the same thing. It's another same free header, same position. Fuck off, man. This team is not serious. From here on forward, if Chelsea finish or win games, great. This should have been 6 wins out of 6 for Liam Rosenior. Instead, it's 4 out of 6. And it's been terrible. Leeds and Burnley. 6 minutes of stoppage time has been played. Chelsea on borrowed time. Ball into the box. Oh, decent touch. Liam Delap. What a terrible finish. You're a fucking useless footballer, man. 30 million down the drain. Liam Delap misses again. And that is full time. Absolutely fuming. If there was ever a time, my friend, to get that ball on target, this was it. But he's a useless. He's a championship striker, man. We paid 30 million for him. We're going to get this. Fuming. Absolutely fuming. We are an unserious football institution. Burnley deserve that point. They fucking deserve it. Absolutely deserve it. Chelsea dropped 4 points to Leeds and Burnley. And we're trying to play for top 4. Get out. Unserious. I am absolutely fuming, man. It's 1-1 at the bridge. I'm off.